Welcome back. It's a new year, new me. We're now doing a vertical video here in the lower corner, but it's time for the NCAA track and field show. Cross country show is over. It's now on to track and field. Indoor edition. We'll be covering all the ins and outs on both the men's and women's side of Division I NCAA track and field. This week is kind of the first weekend of the season. It's all kind of been preseason mode, but this weekend, all the big guns will be coming out of the woodwork. They've been hibernating all fall long, watching the distance runners do their thing. It's time for the sprinters, the throwers, the jumpers, and also even more distance runners back on the track. It's going to be wild. But before we get into what's going to happen on the individual races, like the men's 60, the women's long jump, high jump, the men's 3K, the DMRs, etc., we're going to break down right now where we see the team battle. It's still preseason, still a lot to change, but going into the first weekend, this is where we see the rankings to kind of start at. This is the starting point. Which teams are legit, which teams are frauds. We'll get into it. But today, we're going to talk about the two teams I think are going to win the national championship on the men's side and the women's side. Let's get into it. Check out the rankings. Again, go to the rankings page on the weekly basis. We're going to have NCAA rankings, world individual rankings. We'll also be updating the who has the world standard list, who has the indoor standard list. You get it. All the rankings. Check them out on the site on a weekly basis. But today, we're talking about NCAA track and field. This is the team that we have. On the men's side, let's start there. The Georgia Bulldogs, fresh off winning the national championship in football. It's going to be potential double-double here with Georgia men winning an indoor title in March. And Texas, it's going to be close on the heels. They're projected to only lose by 3 points. LSU's in the mix. Northern Arizona, yes. Northern Arizona, the distance team with no jumpers, no throwers, no sprinters, just a bunch of Nico Youngs and Abdi Hamid Nurs and all the distance you can ask for, George Kusha, all of them. They're going to be looking pretty good because they got some milers. They got obviously good 3Ks, 5Ks. They could potentially podium with an all-distance squad. Again, but if you look at it, very close, right? Alabama's in the mix, Oregon. Let's focus on Georgia. Now, they're not going to have, I don't think, any of their football players on their team, but they will be led by basically two cores. The first core is going to be their sprinters and quarter milers, led by none other than Matthew Bowling. So let's take a look at the roster. Who's going to really be the actual stars to get them to 39 points, to get them to maybe over 40 to win a national title? Let's start with looking at Georgia's website. Let's go to Matthew Bowling. Now this guy right here, look at him. Look at his face. He means business. He's a junior now. He has a chance to be an all-time scorer for Georgia. He has the ability to throw down a fast 4x4 split. Obviously, he can run a good 60, a good 200, and look at that. Look at that energy right there. He's got Bowling. He can long jump as well. And if he can just potentially be a solid long jumper, score 4 or 5 points, plus what he does in the 4x4, plus what he can do in a 2 or a 60, or even an open 4, who knows? He's going to be one of the workhorses to get Georgia a national team title on the men's side. One thing I thought, though, when I was doing some research, I had no idea, one, that Matthew Bowling's parents both start with the letter M, with Monique Bowling and Mark Bowling, so 3 M's now. There's a 4th M, and it's a twin brother named Michael Bowling. I didn't know this. I'm sure people knew this when he was in high school, but I was like, Michael Bowling? Who is this guy? Michael Bowling. And I was like, can he run track? Because if he can, I think Michael Bowling might have a chance to show up. But I looked into him. I don't think he's that much of a track athlete. All the track genes went to one of the twins. I'm guessing maybe the smart genes went to the other Bowling because he's wearing a Stanford shirt. I don't know if that... I'm not saying Matt Bowling's not smart. I'm just saying maybe he took all the fast genes and Michael took all the smart genes. And then together as a duo, they are like the ultimate human being. Regardless, Matthew Bowling, you guys know who this guy is. He's going to be a big scorer. His teammate, Elijah Godwin, will also be a legit scorer for them. He can throw down a good 400. He'll be on their 4x4 to score points. People may not remember, he got literally stabbed by a javelin at practice a year or two ago. It's kind of wild. He got punctured from the back. I believe he got stabbed in the back by that javelin because I think he was running backwards, and he just, I can't imagine it. But he's back. He's strong. He can make a 400 final. He can split 44 seconds on a 4x4. He's going to be key for the points. But now, this is the real reason Georgia will win. They are multi-U. Even though Petros has moved on, they have a new coach, Carol Smith Gilbert from USC. The men's decathletes and heptathletes have decided to stay. They haven't decided to leave Georgia, leave Athens. They're staying, and they have 4 guys who can probably all score, maybe even go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3, 4 is definitely not out of the question. They definitely can go 1, 2 because Carl Tilga, he is the top dog. He is the favorite to win the heptathlete. He's from Estonia, which is, multi-heptathlete, pentathlete, decathlete, you. Got Kyle Garland, who I will say, from Philadelphia, born and raised. Gotta love it. Carl Garland, he's only a junior. He's probably the second best guy behind his own teammate. He also wears his bib upside down, which is good because when you're taking a picture of him high jumping, perfect. Get a good view of his real name. Also, Johannes Irm, who is from Estonia. He was good like 2 or 3 years ago, kind of fell off the map a bit, but on a good day, this guy could win the whole freaking thing. So that's 3 guys that can go 10, 8, 6 points. And then the wild card, who also has the best name as of right now of 2022 in track and field. We're talking Ziggy Zoller. I love that name. Ziggy Zoller. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. So a hometown kid. He's going to be someone to look out for, to be that person who kind of has a breakthrough, makes the meet, is ranked like 16th and finds a way to get 7th. Ziggy Zoller. Keep an eye on him. So basically, the sprinters of Bowling and Godwin, plus throw in the 4 heptathletes, plus they're going to have a good 4x4. That combination is going to be enough to get over the 40-point threshold potentially. And in the way the men's teams are looking out, it might be enough to win. Now, obviously, there's Texas, there's LSU, there's Texas Tech, there's Florida, there's NAU's distance team. There's so many other teams out there that could easily win. But right now, on January 12th, the release of this video, they are the NCAA favorites, which things will change. Let's move over to the women's side, checking out those rankings. Now, look, I have Georgia winning on the men's side with 39 points. The women's team, 77 points for the Florida women. A&M, 60 points. Arkansas, 48. Texas, 41. My top 4 women's teams, I have all scoring more points than the top men's team. I think that shows a lot of the talent. It's kind of really clustered with just the top teams, a lot of these Power 5 teams. Where on the men's side, it's a little more spread out, so you're not going to need as many points to win. But Florida women, Florida men, they're top 2, top 4 pretty much every year on both indoor and outdoor. Women are always kind of the team that's not talked about. But this is going to be the year that women are going to be talked about, and I'll tell you why. Because this Florida women's team, I see scoring 77 points at an indoor meet. This is an all-time year for them on the women's side. I'm sure Coach Holloway knows this. He got some great transfers. They're going to be ready to load up and score a shit ton of points. So who do they have? What they have at first, Joseph Fambula. He's going to be good, guys. Yeah, as you know, he's a Bowerman watch list. We'll talk about him in another episode when we talk about the men's sprints. Keep an eye on him. But women, Florida, who do they have? Why do I have them scoring 77 points? Well, it starts with 2 transfers. They got the 2 best women from the University of Georgia. That's right. They got Jasmine Moore, who is a triple jump, long jump star, especially in the triple jump. She's going to score at best 20 points, at worst 16 points from one person. That's a lot of points. You're already up to near the 20s. Throw in also Anna Hall from Georgia. She's going to be in the pentathlon. She's also going to high jump. She can win the pentathlon. She could get like top 5 in a high jump. Throw in potentially another 14 points from Anna Hall. So you have Anna Hall 14 points. You have like almost 18 points from Jasmine Moore. We're already, with just the 2 transfers, we're already at 20, 30. Oh, can't do math. Ooh, brain. We're at like 33 points, 32 points. I don't know, plus or minus 2 or 4 points. But we're over 30 points, basically, with 2 women. That's a good way to start, right? You're 30, and then who else do they have on the roster? Well, they also have some other good stars in multiple events. They're not all segmented in just the jumps. You got Gabrielle Wilkinson, who, one, is going to be a star for their DMR. She could probably throw down a fast 4x4 split because she's a mid-distance athlete. She could potentially win the 800. She's run 201. She has a 414, 1500 PB. The women's 800, it's a little diluted. Only Aaliyah Miller is a true star, so I can see her floor being like 3rd or 4th place and her ceiling being 1st place. So that's another solid, potentially 6 to 10 points from Gabrielle Wilkinson. Also, you got I'm bad with names. Talitha Diggs, who is from Saucon Valley. Shout out. That is next to my hometown in Pennsylvania. My brother's children go to that school. So Diggs, love it. She is a 400-meter star. She's run 41 seconds in a 400. She's going to be on that 4x4, which is going to be huge for them to get points. Also be good on the open. You also have Grace Stark, who is going to be really good in the 60 hurdles. She's going to score potentially 6 to 4 points. Grace Stark. You also have have other lists. I don't have everyone's names up here. We got Starling Lester, who can score in the multis. You got Natrisha Hooper, who can score in the triple jump. You got Taylor Manson, who can score in the 400. You got Claire Bryant, who can score in the long jump. And you got Samira Kilbrew, who can score in the 60 and maybe even the 200. I listed like 12 people. To win NCAAs at the Division I level, you typically only do it with like 4 to 8 people. And normally you have like 2 of them are superstars. They have like 4 to 5 superstars, plus another 5 to 6 scorers, plus whoever else is going to come up and run well. Florida women are going to score over 70 points. It's not even going to be close. And it's crazy because Texas A&M women are also extremely good, despite losing a Thing Mo and a few others, because they had Tyra Gittens back. But Florida women, they're going to be the talk of the town. I'm calling it right now. Florida women, Georgia men are going to be, well, I'm more confident on the Florida than the Georgia because Florida has a bigger gap. But right now, as of today, Florida women favorites, Georgia men favorites. Things will change, though, because there are people in the universe who I did not know existed who are coming over from across the Atlantic Ocean who are going to show up and vault like over 5.5 meters or like long jump over 8 meters, or there's going to be some random 200 guy who's running like 20.3 and I'm like, who is this guy? So things will change, but I wanted to give you guys, the people, a little bit of understanding of where the team battles at, because on the men's side, once again, Georgia, Texas, LSU, probably the early favorites. Then you have basically a hodgepodge of NAU, Alabama, Oregon, USC, Florida, Florida State. But if you look at this, Florida State and Florida are tied for 8th, but they're only 3 points behind 3rd. So, like, basically, even though I don't have Florida and Florida State as podium teams, when you're only 3 points back, you're basically tied by margin of error. So you really have like 10, 11 teams, maybe even A&T. I would say 12 teams that can win. Women's side, only 4 teams can win, as I see it right now. Florida, A&M, Arkansas, and Texas. It's not even close. Look at that. 77, 60, 48, 41. And then on the men's side, 39, 36, 28, 28, 27, 27, 27, 25, 25. And we're going to dive deep into why these points are allocated as they are as the rankings change. We'll dive deep into the sprints. We'll dive deep into the distance, into the relays, into the throws. Weekly basis, come back, like and subscribe. This is going to be the official NCAA track and field show on the FloTrack YouTube channel, also on the FloTrack app. Check it out on the FloTrack television screens. You know it. Just type in the word FloTrack NCAA track and field, and you will find this. Check out the rankings. Check out our race breakdowns. Check out Kevin's shows. We got all the content. It's 2022. Worlds are in America. This is going to be a great year. It starts with the NCAA season on the indoor track. Gotta love it. We'll see you then. Like and subscribe. Peace.